Who knows? You might be right. Imagine. Could you imagine? Picture that. Throw up the bubble right now. That would be uh, amazing. That would be amazing. I would be that much quicker to retirement if that happened every single month. Hello, friends. My name is Mike, and this is Health and Wealth. Thanks for joining me today on another episode of my channel. As you know, today, well, some of you probably know, today is the Ex Dividend date for Group D over at Yieldmax, and most of us are watching this video because of the title and because of the thumbnail for a discussion on Misty, MSTY. And so, huge day yesterday, a massive day for Misty, one of the biggest distributions I've ever seen. And I think right around the second or third highest in Yieldmax history was announced yesterday on the declaration day of MSTY and Yieldmax's fund. It was $4.19 per share. Incredible announcement. Misty follows micro strategies, and it kind of shook the world in a good way. I think almost everybody that was involved with Misty and is involved with Misty is really, really happy about that. So I noticed on a number of social media groups that people are, new to investing. They're new to Yieldmax. They're new to, the term Ex Dividend date and declaration date. So I just want to kind of first say, if you buy shares on the Ex Dividend date, then you don't get any of the dividends that were announced yesterday, the declaration date, but you will get future distributions. So that would be, roughly a month from now, whenever Group D comes back out with another declaration. Okay, so if you bought them today, you wouldn't get tomorrow's distribution. So for me, I went ahead and gave myself a dividend advance. I took I had 155 shares. I think that paid me after tax $750 Canadian, which is roughly 400. Don't quote me on the number here, but around 490 US. So what I did is I took that out of my bank account, which was sitting there doing nothing, and went ahead and shipped it over to my Questrade account, and I purchased 20 shares of Misty. So I did that today after the dividend was announced. The X date is today, and generally whenever the X date comes out, the ETF will drop the amount of that distribution. So it should have dropped $4.19, but it didn't. And I want to go over with you why. Why didn't it drop the full $4.19? So I'll go ahead and share my screen with you here. And there we go. So there is Misty itself right on Google, and we're looking at $27.58 today. So it says a price drop of $1. Now that can be deceiving. I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but there's a huge drop down right here. So last night at 8 p.m., the share price was $30.75. And then this morning here, it was all the way down to $27. And since then, it's kind of snaked its way up a little bit here, up to $27.58 at this time. But that's pretty darn good, right? So I ended up buying today at, I think it was like $26.80. I don't know. You know what happened though? By buying those 20 shares, it brought my dollar cost average up a whopping 9 cents. So I was pretty happy with that. I'm now 20 shares richer of MSTY. I have 175 shares of MSTY. My goal, as you know, is to get to $500 a month per pillar, and so Misty is pillar number 2. I achieved over that goal this month. It, in my opinion, was an anomaly. Had one person in the comments say, it's probably not an anomaly. This is going to happen every single month, but there was 2 factors that factored into the dividend being so high. One, that we were coming close to the end of the fiscal year for Misty and Yieldmax, and 2, it was an extended month, 6 weeks of trading. So those are the two factors that helped us achieve a larger distribution. Okay, so am I expecting $4 next month? Probably not. But I mean, it really depends on the calls that the Misty fund managers provide and choose, and it also depends on the MicroStrategy fund itself. So today, MicroStrategies is up 3.83%, $8.19. If you take a look at the last 5 days, is up 12%. So depending on the strategy that the Yieldmax fund managers choose, and if they position their calls a little further out and MicroStrategy still goes up, then yeah, I guess it could happen again. But if history prevails, it won't, because generally, I'm not going to say this with a smile, the fund managers over at Yieldmax that deal with Misty have not been very reliable. Where they've made their money is on the synthetic options, and they have failed us on the weekly calls. So, yeah, am I expecting another $4 distribution next month? Definitely not. If we take a look here, I've opened up Misty on Yieldmax's website. It talks to you about the distribution rate today is 178.35%. Absolutely bananas. Will that happen again next month? I'm putting my foot down. I'm going to say probably not. But there's all of the distributions so far. They've paid out 7. This was the biggest one here of $4.19. But you can see all of the distributions there. I'll read them out to you for those that are listening and not watching. $4.19, $1.85, $1.94, $2.32, $3.03, $2.52, and the very first one was $4.12. So the commenter who said it's going to happen every month, you know what? Who knows? You might be right. Imagine. Could you imagine? Picture that. Throw up the bubble right now. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I would be that much quicker to retirement if that happened every single month. But let's go back to reality and just say it probably won't. Now, what I like to pay attention to is what are the fund managers doing. By the way, the net assets as of today for Misty, $763 million. If you watched my video yesterday, you saw a few of the funds were at $5 million, right? So this fund is absolutely massive. I think it's the second biggest fund at Yieldmax and quickly growing its popularity as we go here. Let's take a look at their current holdings here. Looks like they got a synthetic option for November the 15th. So that's coming up here in 3 weeks, and they have a call for $195. That's looking pretty good. Again, let's go to Mr. here, 227 right now. This is what I'm talking about with that synthetic option. This is where they do a good job with the synthetics, especially with companies that are growing and their share price is growing as well. This is where we could make a ton of money, and that could really support that case of having a higher distribution. We'll lower the eyeballs, get a little lower with the eyeballs over here. Take a look at the calls here, and I'm kind of, what's the term? I'm raw dogging this thing. I haven't looked at this all day. I'm just kind of observing what I see here. So it looks like we have, where was that? 195. So it looks like we have a couple different options here. So this week, so that's actually tomorrow, 220 with 16,745 positions. 220. That one's not looking so hot right now. 220, and then so let's go find the opposite of that right up top here. There's its credit call spread. So $250 right there. So that's probably not going to pan out, right? So $250. Misty would, or Mr. would have to kind of skyrocket tomorrow. $250. And I think Retire on Dividend said this earlier in the week. Don't quote me on this one, but I think it was mentioned that, wow, is that credit call spread too high? Is it too far up there? So we're not making money on this unless it gets, closer or, above that. So that's a fail. Let's look at another one here, $230. Now this is 15,000, a little bit less, but a lot of positions there. This also closes tomorrow. And do we have a, yeah, here we go. 270. What are we doing right now? 270 with a credit call spread right there. That's $40. And I actually brought that up earlier as well in an earlier video. That's way above. What are we doing? And so 230 today is looking okay, but I mean, look at that, up 1350. We are getting close. If I was a fund manager over at Misty, I would be closing that option now and count my my money, right? So to close that option, they're gonna have to pay to close that option, but it won't be as much as, say, the 220 down below here. They're gonna have to pay a lot more to close that option because the price of Mister is already above $220. So right now at 2:20 p.m., this $230 call, Mister is below it. If they close it now, they're gonna have to pay money, but not as much money, right? So let's hope they make the right decision on that one. What else do we have? We have two other ones, just a smaller position, absolutely getting, can I say slaughtered? It's getting smoked right here. $210 position they created for tomorrow. Again, the today's share price currently is 227, way above. So imagine having to close 990 positions. They're going to pay a lot of money for that. And they chose 242.50 for their credit call spread. Again, it's not even close, right? It's not close. So why wouldn't I just, maybe the math didn't play out for them, but if you're going to do a 210 call, why not make the credit call spread 220? If you're going to do 220, why not make it 230 for the credit call spread? And if you're going to do a 230, why not make the credit call spread 240? I don't know. And so these are the mistakes that are costing us money. And so when you say like, yeah, I think every month's going to be $4, this is the reason right here why it won't be every single month. So yes, let's celebrate, put on the horns, right? I'll put them on nice and quiet for V Riddler, or is it V Rider? Put on the horns, right? To celebrate that we got a $4.19 distribution. Some of you are getting paid tomorrow. I'm going to get paid on like Saturday or Sunday, but I won't receive the money until Monday. For me, I've already purchased the shares because I want to get my shares at a discount. And I think the best time to buy distribution or buy ETFs is on the Ex Dividend date when you get that built-in discount. I'm a big believer in Misty. I'm just not a fan of what we're seeing up top here, over here. All right. I hope that makes sense to you. Let's hope they do a better job next week. And again, this synthetic right here that they chose, probably like 30, 40 days ago is potentially going to save us. And yeah, they're going to have to pay out all of this money to close these options today or tomorrow. But this 195, as long as Mister stays above it, will give us money. And that kind of saves us a little bit, right? So could it be $4? Yeah, if they did a better job every single month, it could be $4. Who's making these decisions, right? These are paid professionals. We know that MicroStrategies is just skyrocketing. We know Bitcoin right here is super volatile. All the way up to 69,000 just 4 days ago, down to 67,000 today. We know it's volatile. We know MicroStrategies has a 1% stake in Bitcoin. So why are we choosing options so close to the price? I'm not too sure. Let's take a look at one more thing here. I did a little bit of math, all right? And so I got a total distribution this month of $832 after tax. This is from nvdy and Misty. Now, of course, I haven't got my Misty yet. It's coming out on Sunday, but we know how much we're getting, right? And so $832. I always like to think, like, how much money do I need every single day to retire, right? And so, I'm figuring I got a pretty fire lifestyle. I got a pretty cheap lifestyle. I don't do a lot of shopping or going on trips or anything like that. So I could probably survive off $200 a day, pays my mortgage, pays the bills, and a little bit of fun there as well. So if I could get a dividend of $832 every single month, and I divided that by 20 working days in a month, because that's what I work right now, that works out to $41.60. So I'm currently $160 a day away from my goal. So if I go 160, multiply that by 20 days, you're looking at 3,200 away. So my actual target should be $4,000 a month to be able to survive off $200 a day. So is that achievable? I think it's achievable. In just a few short months here, I've got to 800. Now, again, I know this is an anomaly, and I know that next month probably won't be $4.19. It'll probably be back down to reality of $1.89, something like that. But it's fun to play that game. How about you? How much can you survive off every single day? If you wanted to retire today and you're under the age of 65, what's your goal? How much could you survive off? How much do you need to make in order to retire? And then the one thing to really put on top of that is this a survivable rate of money coming from Yieldmax? We will find out. So far, nvdy and Misty have been absolutely rocking and rolling. They've been paying out amazing, amazing stuff. So congratulations to you for investing in Misty. I think one of my subscribers mentioned that he sold everything yesterday and then rebought in today. Not a bad strategy as well. Doesn't have to live through the drop of the price. And yeah, it's not a bad idea as well. One last thing here, a little bit of a personal note. I have a personal target of, and I'll put it across the top up here, personal target of 2,000 subscribers by December 25th. And I started this channel, actually I'll scroll up here. I started this channel December 14th, 1 year ago. And I made a couple videos. I didn't make very many. And then I took a long break. But really over the last 60, 70 days, I've really started pumping the content out here. I'm hoping you're enjoying it enough to be able to subscribe to my channel. Totally free to you, but it means a lot to me. You can see here I've had 149,000 views so far. And right now I'm just over 1,500 subscribers. So thank you very much for that. And I thought this website was pretty neat. It's called Social Blade. I guess, I don't know if you could put like your Instagram or Twitter on here and things like that. But it talks about my future projections. So it says here in the next 2 months, I should have 2,364 subscribers. So 2 months from today is December 24th. Do you think we can make it there? I hope so. I can't do it without you, though. So I hope you hit that subscribe button. And then what I really think is pretty wild is down below here. If we look at 5 years from now, if I keep continuing on the trend that I am right now with the content that I'm providing you, and you keep enjoying it, it's something that you kind of watch every day. I'm looking at a future growth of 27,738 subscribers and 36,926,000 views in the next 5 years. That is a number that absolutely blows my mind. And that's kind of like investing in the stock market, right? You want an end goal of $1 million, but you want it today. Well, you got to work for it. And I plan on working for this. I plan on working for you guys. I want to be able to provide educational content that you enjoy. It's entertaining. And hopefully you learn a thing or two, because that is ultimately the goal here. So I just wanted to say thanks so much for tuning in today. I appreciate the time that you provide me, and I hope that, again, that I provided you a little entertainment. Again, the goal is 2,000 subscribers by December 25th. I appreciate your support, and I just wanted to say thanks again. My name is Mike. This right here is Health and Wealth. Have a great day. Bye for now.